In order to produce from your true essence, you have to remember who you are and why you're here. So in order to remember who you are and why you're here, then you must achieve more awareness of yourself. And once we're born, we then grow up. And as the older we get, the more and more social conditioning and programming that is put on us that basically makes us think and behave a certain way. So once we become aware of this, our job is to then strip back the layers, to strip off the social constructs, to strip off the social programming that has been put on us and layered on for many years and years and years. And the more we strip back the layers, we get closer to remembering who we are and our true essence of what we're here to do. And then we become very clear around what our purpose is and our mission is. Because now we're coming from soul, we're coming from heart. We're not coming from a mental bias and construct that was artificially put upon us by someone else, that told us how we should behave and what we should do. So these things like astrology, numerology, human design, personality tests like Myers-Briggs, strengths identification, workplace inventory, all these tests, some are more psychometric tests, which show you how your inner psyche works, and others are more aligned with deeper spiritual wisdom, which is your actual design and your makeup of why you're here. And that's why I love things like numerology, astrology, and human design, because they give you glimpses into your essence of what you are and who you are. And once you become more aware of that, when you read your astrology, when you read your numerology, when you read your human design, and you become very equipped and well aware of how it all works, then they trigger kind of mini awakenings and rememberings within you. So because we go through life so disconnected from our true self, we forget who we are. So as we come through into this physical realm, we forget our core being of who we truly are. And then society tells us who we are. But that is a false narrative, because society really doesn't know anything. The masses do not know much. They are in a program, they're in the matrix. And the matrix has been programmed, and the program trains your brain how to think and what to do and how to behave. So we have to strip back the programming and remember who we are, and what we can do to help us assist us in that process is using things like human design, astrology, and numerology to start remembering who we are, to start reconnecting to our truth. And we have to use those as tools that help us get a deeper insight to who we are. But then to really go the next step and take it all the way, we have to master ourselves through emotional intelligence and deep meditation. And when we start to go into these deep meditational practices, we can start to quieten our mind and awaken the essence of who we are. Because it's in the stillness, it's in the removal of all the noise in the outside world, in which we create the space around us and the right conditions in which we can remember why we're here and who we are. So then, as we go through life, we create these constructs to make sense of things. But think about it. When you grew up, who did you learn from? It was your social network. It was your family. It was your friends. Who did they learn from? Their family, their friends. Who did they learn from? Same thing. It goes back through lineage. But depending on the times that they were in, they were fed a specific narrative and story that programmed their mind. And if they thought those things were absolute truth, they're going to pass that knowledge on to you, whether it be true or false. And society's narrative is mostly false. We are more divine than that. We all are divine. But humans are very meticulously designed, and we are here for a purpose. We're here to evolve and ascend, and to help Mother Earth and Gaia evolve as well, because the planet is a living thing. We are all living beings. All animals have we all hold consciousness. And consciousness travels through energy. And the energy transference and how everything is connected is what holds the great intelligence. And the intelligence originates from the creator. And once we understand that, we know that by coming down into this physical plane on Earth, we have traveled a long way from our original creator. And the creator is pure love and light. And light holds information. So our job is to remember the light within, to remember that we are divine light. And the way that we remember ourselves is by shining a light on all of our blind spots within us. So this is why it's so important to master our emotions, because our emotions indicate our level of consciousness. So if we are residing in emotions of fear, guilt, anger, and shame and judgment, then we are most likely residing at a lower level of consciousness because we have not mastered those emotions, because we're still expressing them. We're still a byproduct of those emotions. But our job is to identify when those emotions arise within us so we can be aware of it, consciously aware, and in that moment make the conscious decision to let it pass, let it flow, and then transmute it through the process of alchemy, where we're transmuting the lower level emotions into higher level emotions, into love, forgiveness, joy, happiness, compassion for all beings. And in seeing our own light, we activate our true self, because we are all infinitely powerful. We are all quantum creators in this universe. You have the power. We all do. It's just laying dormant within us. So the more we shine a light on ourselves and love ourselves and awaken and remember who we truly are, we become more light beings. We absorb more light. We absorb more information into our body, which allows us to continue to transcend to higher realms of consciousness. And there's this theory I'm developing, which kind of ties on to string theory. Think of like the whole reason that we are here to find our purpose is because when we are aligned with our purpose, we are strumming in sync. We are in harmony with our core essence of who we are. So picture yourself and myself with a guitar in our hands. And then once you picture that, picture our entire nation and planet and all human beings with a guitar in their hands, all strumming the one song. Once you picture this, understand that there's going to be certain people that are strumming out of tune with what the collective is strumming, right? So the collective song, the song that we are all co-creating, is the sum or average of everyone's strum. Now, the more in tune you are with your purpose and the core mission of why you're here, your true essence, the more you acknowledge and remember and awaken your true infinite power and creative ability that you have, the more in sync and in harmony you're going to be playing this song. But the further removed you get from your purpose, the more distracted you get and the more caught up with the physical realm, you're going to start fucking up and you're going to start missing vital strings while you're playing your song, which creates disharmony in the song because you're not playing your part, you're not playing your role. But when you're in line with your purpose and mission, you're playing your part. And when we all play our parts, we create one amazing symphony that makes up our universal song, because we are all vibrational beings. And when we're all playing our part, we generate the song of the universe. Break the word the universe down. Uni, which means one. verse, which means song. So our whole goal and purpose is to find what we're here to do and why we're here. And the way we do that is, first, we become aware that there is greater possibility. Number two, we have to forge and develop the belief that we are infinite quantum creators in this reality, that we are more than just a byproduct of Darwin's theory of evolution, where it's survival of the fittest, where in order to win, we must beat others, we must compete against others, we must be superior to others, that it's the survival of the fittest. That's a very limiting view, because it means that you don't matter. And science and our schooling system has taught us that we don't matter, that we are just a blip in the middle, like in the vast universe, and that life has no meaning, and that there's probably not other life on other planets. But it's such a hoax, because there are trillions of galaxies out there, and there's billions of Earth-like planets in other galaxies that have the right conditions for life as we know it right here, right now. And just because we have not been taught that this is the reality does not dismiss that it is true. And while we're all working towards getting closer to the truth, we must be committed to finding and seeking that truth. Because the closer we get to the truth, the closer we get to play our own song. And the more each and every one of us start playing our own song, those around us then develop the courage and the will and the tenacity and the strength to stand up and rise and to step into their own power, to shine a light on themselves and acknowledge themselves for being important, for being incredible, because we all are. And then they start playing their song too. And the more people that start playing their song, it makes up this grand symphony of all co-creators. We're all co-creating this song. And the more in tune we all are, the more harmonious it is. And that is why, if you look at the conflict in the world right now, there's no right or wrong. It just means that there are a lot of people that aren't playing their song. They're playing someone else's song that they've been told to play because they were told they had to. They were told they had to take that job. They were told they had to study that course. They were given a false narrative. And it's okay. There's no right or wrong with it. There's no negative or downside towards following your wrong path. Because in following your wrong path, you know it's not for you. And then we can correct course. We can start to teach others that, hey, you're amazing. And we are all connected. We are all one. We are all one consciousness. We all stem back from the ultimate creator, whatever that word is for you. You get me here? So that's why, like, really the core truth is we must reconnect with our purpose. And once we understand that, we can give permission to ourselves to create whatever we want to fucking create. Because it's our job to create something that's true to us. And once we create something that's true to us, we become alive. Because now we're living our purpose, we're living our mission. We're doing what we were born and here to do. Because if you get that right, that is your essence. And it's about you expressing your essence on the world. To create, to co-create with all that is.